Well, hello and welcome to the Porsche Cup Euro Global. This is round two. We are, of course, as you know, for those who participate in this race, this is going to be off of the replay. This is not live. This is a little bit after the fact, but it's still going to be lots and lots of fun. Guarantee you that one. So right now we're just watching everyone going through their open qualifying. This is open qualifying. You get 2 flying laps. You have 2 laps. You can set your best time. You can go out there and do 5 laps around, but only 2 flying laps. As you can see, some of these drivers stalling, waiting for the guys who are doing their flying laps to make it on through that corner, trying not to block the way. And that is a little bit of a chaos, but some people really enjoy the open qualifying. I personally love it. A little bit of a strategy of how to place yourself on that track, how to create that gap. It's a lot of fun, actually. It's a nice little addition to essentially what you don't get to experience in the public official races. So there you go. Adam Schmidt, I think, is not going to be on his flying lap because we saw him parking it earlier. So on the right of the screen, you can see what the track temperatures are. The track temperature is 24 Celsius on the ambient, I think 26 on the track. I don't know. I think that doesn't even make sense. How's the track cooler? Not sure if that's correct, but one of them's 24 and one of them's 26. I think it's the track is 26. Either way, there you go. So you know generally how fast, slow these guys are going. So right now we're just waiting for some of the people to finish their qualifying laps, and then we're going to take a look at the timing tower once that is completed. This race here at Sebring, if you didn't know, is going to be it's going to be featuring our Superheats format. Our Superheats format is probably one of the most exciting formats that you can actually find on the service of iRacing. I guarantee you that. It is 3 races, 3 heat races, all in one evening. So you know what? If you make a mistake in one, you've got 2 more races to try and make it up. Or if you're trying to score the most possible points in your race, you're going to have to basically be perfect for 3 straight races. And that's 3 straight race starts too. So you have to know how to do those cold tires, not lose many positions or, any at all, to be able to place well in all of the races. That's the challenge. It's absolutely a lot of fun. This format is not designed for someone to be able to win all 3 races. Our first race is just 10 minutes. So let's basically show that you've got what it takes to prove your qualifying, really. The second race is a reverse of the top 4, and it's a 15-minute race. So with 15 minutes and a reverse grid top 4, there's a chance that whoever is P1 could win from the first race, could win that second one. And then the last race is 20 minutes with a reverse grid top 8. Now, winning that race, that is the absolute challenge, I think. I personally believe that is the hardest one to win. 20 minutes only to try and come back from an 8-position deficit while everyone else is also trying to race their heart out. So you have to keep yourself together, keep yourself composed, and somehow make it to the end winning. It's quite a conundrum, isn't it? It's absolutely my favorite format. I love it in all different forms, and so here we are. We're going to experience that Superheats format tonight. And with Sebring and with 3 race starts, you're always going to have those guys. Those guys who they're really trying to push it, and they make that little mistake, but it causes such a massive amount of chaos in the field. So we're going to take a look at who is going to be that guy as well. We're going to try and catch that. We can't do replays because I'm already in a replay, unfortunately. So there's the massive downside. So I'm going to try and catch the action as much as I possibly can, live as it happens. Let's get rid of the weather. I don't want to see that anymore. On the track map, you can see the car numbers are what you see. I can make that anything you like. Position, initials, 3 letters. I can hide it. I don't want to hide it. I like it. But car numbers is absolutely my favorite. Let me know, guys, what you prefer the most on that track map, and I can make it happen. But car number, because on here now I'm going to pull up. Let me see if I can pull this up. There you go. So we're going to have to adjust that timing tower, maybe not right now as the replay, as the race and broadcast is going, but there's going to be some drivers getting bumped up into the Pro Division, I believe, after this race, after this qualifying, and you'll be able to see that in the Pro-Am standings spreadsheet. So I'm really curious to see who's going to be that guy in this race, because it's going to be really intense. 3 race starts, and Sebring, as everyone knows, very, very wide through turn 1. You can do 4 cars, 5 cars. You know what? Send it. Absolutely send it. But that track narrows very, 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 very quickly. So, you know what? I'm really curious to see how that race start goes, especially with the reverse grid 4 and the reverse grid 8. There's going to be a lot of desperate people trying to make a move very, very quickly and very early. And it may cause and create a lot of chaos. So we only have 50 seconds left. On the screen you can see, let's take away qualifying mode from the bottom. There you can see everyone's qualifying. Daniel Thomas, 4 minutes 30 seconds. That's not right. He's gonna get right up near the I think I'm following along with Daniel Thomas right now. Let's see, he's got a really good exit through Sunset Bend, and he's gonna come through as he crosses that finish line. That is there. He should be up a lot higher. Something's fine. Something is funky. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, you know what we can do to fix that little bugger of a bug? Here we go. I'm gonna do this. There you go. Now you can actually see exactly where everyone qualified. Okay, come on back. There you go. Thanks. Thank you, SDK Gaming. Actually, cool little piece of information. If you want to display the flag, the country that you live in, or maybe your home country after that you moved away from, you can actually do that. Get the SDK driving app, driver information app, and you can put it on, and right here it'll be displayed through our broadcast. So there you go. There is the qualifying results. There's a lot of cars out there. There's the top 18. I'm going to scroll it down a little bit, and there you go. That is the bottom 18. 34 cars total, so this is going to be quite a heater of a race. I'm really curious to see who's going to be that guy who takes it all, takes the race for all that he can take and every little point that he can get, and also who's going to be that guy who just plows through the field, because you know what? There's always one. Is it going to be you? Who is it going to be? I always find it interesting. You know what? But anyways, let's pull that down. Let's take a look at the field. Here you go. There's Barney in his tower, and we're just waiting for some of these cars to grade. I think they have about 30 seconds left. This is that moment of time, that moment of truth where you really gotta get your head in the game, prepare yourself in every way possible, because this is it, folks. This is where the intensity it flies through the roof. Absolutely, right here. 3 race starts. The race start, of course, as everyone knows, is the point in time that you can make all of the mistakes on those cold tires off of that launch. So I'm really curious to see who can make it, or they break it, Let's see. Here we go. The race is about to start. You feel your engines revving up any moment now. Here we go. The engines are revving up. And away we go. It looks like everyone got a really, really good launch. Going to be a few cars going 3 wide, 4 wide. We're going to get a good bird's eye view as they head through turn 1. At the very front, Philip Hammer being challenged already by Bruno Heinrich. And here we go. This is the part of the track where it starts squeezing you as a driver. It gets super, super narrow, and everyone coming in together in that massive accordion effect. There goes one driver already losing his mind, as he can as you can see. And there goes one more. Oh, and Adam Schmidt is off. Let's take a look at the timing tower, bring that up super quickly, and go right back to the very leader of the race, who's heading into the hairpin for the very first time, and he hits that braking zone. Looks like Bruno and Philip. Oh, and there goes another car off the track. That is John Bailiff, and a little bit of a bump, and has created a lot of chaos in the hairpin. Luckily, oh, and a little bit more. Most of these drivers able to navigate through the chaos, through the smoke, and that is a lot of chaos. That is gonna happen. Absolutely gonna happen in these races when you have such a short race. 10 minutes only. They really have to go for it. They really have to go for it. You can see they've only got about a minute into this race so far, and if you don't go for it, you could lose a lot of positions. And you know, it's funny, it's totally a conundrum in that way, whereas if you really go for it, you lose a lot. You could gain a lot of positions, but you can lose a lot of positions. I've often found for myself, I compete in the Porsche Cup on Thursdays and the MX-5 on Tuesdays. All those cars, look at that. That looks amazing. I love that mouth shark bite. I love that. As I was saying though, going a little bit more calm, patient, even in these short races, that's absolutely paid off for me in all the races I've ever done. Just having a little bit of patience, because most of the other people probably are not going to have a lot of it. I end up gaining a lot of spots, funny enough. I think in this race I can actually show gains and losses. Let's see. Gains. Here we go. There you go. And there's a great example. There's a great example actually with the gains and the losses. You can see Philip Hammer right now and Bruno Heinrich starting to pull away from Daniel Thomas. Daniel Thomas not able to have that pace that he is hoping to have on the cold tires, but you can see right there, those who are trying to be super aggressive lost a lot, potentially a lot of positions, or maybe it's just a little bit of a nudge or a bump from another car. But 12 positions gained for Neil Killen, 13 for Bogdan Moldovan, 13 for Mihai Zaharia, and that is just the perfect sign of a little bit of patience can actually go a long way in all the races. Even if you're involved in that reverse grid top 4 or top 8 in the next few, there is Philip Hammer. He is just starting to really pull away from Daniel Thomas. Daniel Thomas starting to gap Christian Ruzicka just a little bit. Dennis Ronsdorf directly behind Christian, so he is really pushing him. Emil, and Emil has gone off, and that is going to hurt his race big time. He is losing a lot of spots off of that one little mistake, and he's got luckily his 2 teammates ahead of him. But this is an absolute train of Porsche Cup cars straight from Christian Ruzicka. You can see on the timing tower I've got interval up, and and there goes. That looks like a slowdown. That looks like a slowdown for Dennis, and that is going to hurt. Look at that. One tiny mistake has put him way back, and Emil Koopman's even further back. Something has really happened for Emil Koopman, so that is going to be hurting his race. And this is one of those, and there we go. Vincent Ravesloot going round Yuri Steinmetz. Are these guys going to battle? Is Yuri going to go up the inside and turn one? The inside is definitely the place to be. There you go. Look at that. So Yuri's getting that spot back. He is fighting it tooth and nail, but he is going to have, looks like Vincent thinking about going up the inside, but blowing the braking zone. And now he's at risk for being attacked from the cars behind of Patrick Roosendahl. I love these Dutch names. They're hilarious, but also just awesome. And then John Bailiff, not far off, really starting to catch up. And that is a lovely thing about these cars. No traction control. no ABS, one tiny mistake, you can really put some bad heat into these tires and put yourself into a really, really bad spot on this track, in the general race and racecraft kind of way. So you saw that right there. So Vincent, with one little bit of a mistake on your braking and we don't know exactly what he's trying to manage here with his car and how it's handling, but we can see in front of our eyes the pace difference, not the pace difference, I would say the gap created between him and Yuri, and the car's now catching him from one tiny mistake. We saw earlier one of the cars, Dennis Rondorf, just a little bit up here, just one slowdown, and in this giant field, and it's only 10 minutes, one tiny mistake, you lose a lot of positions. He's down 5 total, so that is going to hurt. He won't be at this point in time involved in that reverse grid top 4, so that is a painful spot to be, coming from way up near the front. Looking a little further back, let's take a look what's happening to Andreas Kirchberger. Alexander Redhead is the leader of this Porsche Cup train. There is a lot of cars here. Oh, and there goes up the inside Mihai Zaharia on Eric Bueno, and he has now made that happen. It looks like Neil Killen able to get up the inside as well. Wow, look at that. And there he goes around. And he goes around. Oh, everyone, nice patience to wait it out so that the cars don't hit you. It's just you're not going bowling, you're not the bowling pin. So thank you for waiting, holding the brakes, and not having that patience. Much appreciated for us and as a league admins, broadcasters, everyone, and the cars on the track. Love it. Here we go into the hairpin. This is hairpin turn 7, exiting the hairpin. You can see now with the interval, if I haven't found you on track, or your friend, either way, you can follow that timing tower and that track map to see generally how the race is going. And I'm going to do this really quickly. Grouped. Here you go. So now you can take a look at who's in the lead. So Daniel Valk, I know for sure, is bumped into the Pro Division after this race, so you can somewhat half ignore that he's in the Amateur Division and leading the Amateur Division drivers in this race right here. Maybe I'll be able to fix that halfway. We'll see. Either way, Philip Hammer and Bruno just showing that they're in a league of their own, way at the front. Daniel Thomas, just a little bit behind, and Christian Rizika, not sure how his tires have been going, but enough back that he doesn't have that draft anymore, Daniel Thomas. So Daniel Thomas is definitely on that beach vacation, nicely placed, all on his own. So it's quite a stress-free ride for him. Christian Rizika, on the other hand, he's got Jordan Stredway, Thorsten Seifert, Joshua Germany, and Dennis. It just keeps going. Dennis Ronsdorf, Daniel Valk, all right hot on his tail. There's the white flag. So this is the last lap, as you can see on the timing tower. Let's bring an overall tower back and take a quickie look at how everyone's doing. Where is that reverse grid top 4 going to affect everyone? And wow, we have a lot of close racing going on, all the way from the very front to the very back. These guys here, looks like Eric Bueno looking to try and make a pass on Neil Killen once again. Mihai Zaharia, a little bit off track. Neil Killen being pressured from behind from Eric Bueno. This is absolutely really tight racing. And you know what? Even at the very front, Philip Hammer, 2.5 tenths ahead of Bruno Henrik. You can see on the timing tower, and I'll get back to that race very shortly. After these guys go through the hairpin, this is Alexander Redhead at the very front of this one. Andreas Kirchberger throwing the defensive line, and is that move up the inside going to work on Neil Killen? Neil Killen getting the better exit, and that looks like Eric Bueno is not able to get that past him, but these guys are absolutely pushing it here, trying to make a pass. This is Andreas Kirchberger defending on the inside line once again to Mihai Zaharia, and Mihai Zaharia able to get through. You know, that outside line eventually turns to an inside line. These guys are still side by side. This is absolutely wild. Look at them go. Holy smokes. And that is going to play into the hand of Alexander Redhead, easily able to put a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a comfort cushion between him and the cars behind. So that is going to help him out. Here we go. This Philip Hammer for the very last time through Sunset Bend for the very final time in this first race. Bruno Heinrich, is he able to get ahead? I think Philip Hammer able to put that power down much better than Bruno Heinrich. And there you go. Philip Hammer can congratulations for the win of this first 10-minute race, showing that he qualified exactly where he belonged in P1 on pole. And so that is great finish. Wow, we have a lot of cars. That is, oh, this is gonna be close. There's Alexander Redhead. He is ahead still there. Wow. I can't even say these names fast enough. There's just so many cars coming on through, and you can see on the left of the timing tower exactly who's coming through, when, where. Oh, and there's a spin. There is a spin. That is Tyler Marigna, who's had a spin. He lost a few positions off of that one. And wow, what a race. Really quick, let's just pull up how did that race go? Who finished where? Wow. Okay, so Philip Hammer, and there's the post-race celebrations. Anyways, here we go. Really quickly, if we can do this quickly or not. Philip Hammer, congratulations once again for the win of that first race. Bruno Heinrich, Daniel Thomas, Christian Rizika, they will be involved in that reverse grid top four. Jordan Stradwick, Thorsten Seifert, Joshua Germany, Dennis Ronsdorf, Daniel Valk, Yuri Steinmetz, all the way up in Patrick Rusendahl, Vincent Rage. So I'm not going to be able to finish this. There's no bloody way. You know what? Here you guys go. You can read it all for yourself. I hope that you can all read that. I cannot read that quick enough. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I can't do it. Because this next race is about to start. I'm going to pull this down. As soon as I hear the engines revving, you can take a look at who is where. And Barney the flag guy, he's about to get ready. I'm going to pull this down, and this second race is about to start. There you go. You can hear the engines revving up. Can you hear the engines revving up? Come on. There you go. You can hear the engines revving up. Here we go. And the lights are off, and away we go. A little bit of a bump in the very back of the field. Oof. And someone got a really bad start and sent it a little bit to the side. But here at the very front, Christian Ruzika is in the lead. Philip Hammer is not able to make up too many positions as we head into turn one. And there we go. There is the narrowing of the track. A little bit of a bumping and a bruising. Bruno Heinrich, is he trying to get through? He is trying to get through as fast as he can as we head through the first few corners. This is side by side as they exit towards that hairpin. Let's get a bird's eye view of Christian Ruzeka heading into that hairpin, followed by Bruno Heinrich. There's Philip Hammer. He is not far back. There is the timing tower. You can see exactly who is where. So Philip Hammer, he is now in third position, able to make it through. Was there any chaos in that hairpin? There is one car. That is Alexandru Damien, a little bit off track, and I think he had a bit of a crash. And wow, sorry about the jumping around in the camera angles. I'm just trying to find all the best action. There is just so much action here. Everyone is within 3/10, I would say, really. This is an absolute wild train of cars. This is the second race. This is really intense to see Christian Ruzika being challenged very quickly by Bruno Heinrich. Oh no! Little bit of a contact, and that is Dennis Ronsdorf, and he is off track, unfortunately. Not sure exactly how that one took place, but that is going to be really painful to try and come back from. Joshua Germany able to slot back in. Dennis Ronsdorf, we'll find him later to see how he ended up, but luckily for everyone involved in any incident or anything that happens in this race, there's 3 races. You know, so there's two more. Oh, Yuri Steinmetz, a little bit of a mistake under braking. It looks like he's hit the wall potentially into the Sunset Bend. So all of those positions gained in that first race now gone. Bruno Heinrich, we missed it. I believe it's through Sunset Bend. He made that pass on Christian Ruzeka. And now Philip Hammer is in third. Bruno Heinrich first. So Christian Ruzeka holding on and really driving a very, very strong race, taking advantage of that reverse grid top four to put himself in second still. Very capable driver, Christian Ruzicka. So he is definitely putting himself to the test and putting everyone else to the test here in this race. And they go this lap number 2 as we head towards this hairpin. Oh, we are going to have a 2x2x2. There's Alexander Redhead. Tiny little bump, it looks like, from Gordon Marshall, but no worse for the wear. These guys are heading on through. This is absolutely insane racing. Look at this. Is Salvatore the very head of this train of cars? I think he is. So that is a lot of pressure for Salvatore. Oh, a little bit of a bump and bruising. You know, I gotta say, that's one of the huge advantages of having a full-body car. You can have a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a bruise, and you can keep on racing. An open wheel car, a little bit of a contact, and the car blows up. It's like a yard sale. To me, it's nice to drive those open wheel cars, but when you can't even touch each other at all, there's no room for error when you're racing each other. That's not fun. That's my thoughts anyway. Whether everyone else shares those opinions or not, I don't know. Opinions are like, I can't even say that on the air, can I don't know. But look at that, Neil Killen. Oh, Philip Hammer making a pass on Christian Ruzeka into Sunset Bend, and there we go. So, oh no! Vincent Ravesloot, a mistake into Sunset, and he is a sitting duck. He has a lot of cars that he has to let pass him, so that is painful. Absolutely painful. There's Joshua Germany. He's going to go round the outside of Razvan Pohontu. Oh, and this is intense. That little bit of a bump and bruising. This is, and Alexander Wilfred. Oh no. This is bad news bears for Alexander Wilfred. I think he made a mistake, a little bit of a spin, rolled onto the track, and I think he took out some drivers. That is going to be definitely a penalty for Alexander Wilfred. So that is really shaking up the field in the middle here. Salvatore Gariento, he is definitely enjoying all the chaos that's happening behind him. This giving him a nice safety cushion, so that he has a lot less stress in his head, in his heart, and his body. You can see this is now a train led by Gordon Marshall. All of that gap that's been created, so Salvatore is in a nice place. Andreas Kirchberger here, car 665. I've got the car numbers on the timing tower, so you can match that to the car that you're seeing on your screen, or even on the track map there. So what I actually may do is change track map to position, so you can see exactly who's in which position. Let's see if that helps the viewers at all. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below or the comments after. Always curious to hear some of your guys' feedback. This is really intense though. Wow, look at this. So the front of this train is still Gordon Marshall as they head down the Allman Straight. Does Alexander Redhead have a slowdown? No, he is just throwing the defensive line. He doesn't want to give off that draft to Adam Schmidt. Doesn't want Adam Schmidt taking advantage of that draft to make a pass. But guess what? Adam Schmidt's going around the outside. He's going to try and take advantage of that car anyways. Alexander Redhead is under attack. Did Adam Schmidt get that drive out of the final corner that he is hoping into turn 1? Is he going to be able to make overlap up the inside in turn 1? He's going to poke that nose but not get there in time. You can see a little bit behind, a little bit of a lockup from one of these drivers. That is really going to hurt them in the long term. You know what? No ABS, no traction control. That one little mistake like that can really, absolutely really change your race. Look at this, Patrick Rusin Rusendahl, and he is under fire from Salvatore Gariento. Salvatore is going up the inside in the hairpin. Is he going to be able to make it under braking? No lockups, and that is a flawless pass for Salvatore, who is now chasing his teammate of Neil Killen. Here we go. Wow, that is going to be a too wide. Ooh, and a little bit of a bump in car number 40. A little bit of a bump and a little bit of an incident, and they are off, and that's going to be a lot of positions lost. Unfortunately, that is going to that is an unfortunate moment for both those drivers. I'm not sure what exactly happened. That is for, I guess, you as viewers to decide. Of course, I am on the stewarding team, so I do see if any of these incidents come up. Of course, any and all incidents after lap 1, they are submission only. So we only have the steward team go through them if you submit them through our protest form. Everything on lap 1 is going to be automatic, but everything on lap 1 will be automatic, and then anything after lap 1 we'll only take a look at if you tell us to. You know what? One of the main reasons we do that, honestly, is I've been on iRacing here for quite a few years. Sometimes there's just incidents that happen that you're like, you know what, that's not even worth reviewing. I'll take that as like, that was my mistake and his mistake, and it's just like an unfortunate kind of scenario, and so it's not worth automatically reviewing every single incident. And so we're only going to look at exactly what you want us to after lap 1. We just recently brought in the lap 1 review automatic, and I think it's definitely helped clean up a lot of our racing over the more recent times. So that's, like, I guess, a slight history lesson of how we've done that. And here at the very front, we've got Philip Hammer challenging for the lead of the race. Bruno Heinrich, he has an absolute heater on his tail. Philip Hammer, he's going to have to go around the outside. He's going to be able to make that happen? I don't think so. Bruno Heinrich, he's got 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go. That is a lot of time to try and hold off a car that is putting on this much pressure. Philip Hammer, he is not letting him go. All that battling, it makes you wonder, though. George Stredwick, Daniel Thomas, they are only 2.4 seconds back, as you can see on that interval chart there of the timing tower. Is all that battling going to bring them back into play? And of course, take note of the top 8 positions in these standings for this second race. The last race is only going to be 20 minutes. So where you place in this second race, it's going to be important. So those trying to go for the most points possible in the evening, of course, are going to be at the very front, so as you see here with Bruno Heinrich, Philip Hammer. But there's a little bit of a secondary game that goes on that you want to be in a decent enough spot, like say 6th, 7th, or even 8th if you feel brave enough to try and take advantage of that reverse grid. So anyone, of course, who's in 8th position will be starting in first in the next race. That's a huge advantage. However, you, of course, do have all those clearly very fast drivers behind you. So it can play in your hand and also play against you. It's totally a lot of both. Wow, here we go, this Gordon Marshall. He is being chased by Patrick Rusendahl still. Salvatore not far behind. And here's Andreas Kirchberg. This is just an absolute train of Porsche Cup cars. Alexander Redhead, he is being pressured by Adam Schmidt. Is Adam Schmidt going to be able to get him towards the hairpin? Let's see. I think Adam Schmidt got a really good exit. Is Alexander Redhead going to defend that inside? I think this gonna be a moment of truth if Adam Schmidt goes for the pass up the inside under braking, but not able to get some fair overlap to make a nice pass. So it did not happen. Is it gonna happen right here and gets a good exit out of the hairpin? I don't know. Is Adam able to make it happen? I'm starting to feel a little bit down. I think that he's just chasing him down and not able to get ahead. A little bit further up the road, we got Gordon Marshall and Patrick Rusendahl. I think Gordon Marshall just making a little bit of a pass there, or was he always ahead? I forget. But these guys, they are really, really close. One time mistake, one little bit of a lockup, you're going to lose a lot of positions. There's Salvatore. He has made up a lot of good spots in this race particularly. And as they head through Le Mans corner, turn 15, turn 16, onto the Almond Straight towards the Sunset Bend. Here we go. This is one of the fastest parts of this track. So absolutely one of the best passing opportunities here is Salvatore. Is he going to go up the inside through Sunset Bend? There's the move out of the draft into the braking zone. He has got the inside line, and is this the over-under? And wow, there you go. Look at that. Patrick Rosendahl does not want to give it up easy. There's the over-under, but into turn one, the next corner, the inside line is absolutely the boss position to be in. Does Patrick make that dive up the inside he thought about? You can see he is absolutely thinking about it, and there is another spot lost for Patrick. Andreas is the next one. Is he going to try and make it on through? And ooh, there is someone going off. He's not having a fun time mowing the lawn. That is not a John Deere tractor. Sorry, sir. That is not what this car is meant to do. Anyways, I want to just take a quickie peek at the leaders again. So it looks like no change. This is Bruno Heinrich still in the lead. Philip Hammer is 5/10 behind. Something is going on. He was much closer. Is he just trying to play ball and get a little bit further ahead of Jordan Strudwick and remove that risk of losing that second position, first position even? Christian Ruzicka, he's been doing very, very well, holding his own. He's in 5th. Not sure exactly how he got there. We'll have to, there's just so many cars on track. It's really hard to catch all of the battles. I'm sorry if I didn't catch all of them. I really, really am sorry about that, but it's just the unfortunate reality of there is a lot of cars. I only have one computer. If I was to do 2 screens, I need 2 computers, 3 screens, all in the same broadcast, and could do it, maybe not, but I'm only one person here. Sorry, not sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna take a look at Emil Koopman. So Emil Koopman's in the first race. We did see him lock up going into Tower and lose a lot of positions, and I think he made another mistake, got a slow down, hit a wall. So he is possibly driving a little angry, maybe not. It's just an assumption, but he is not in a position on track in the field that he would like to be. P19, he's usually one of the front runners, so this is really, really interesting as he goes up that straight. Is he going to be able to make that move up the inside? No, he's not. Oh, around the switchback? Is he able to make it happen? Is Emil able to make this happen? He is close. He's going to head into turn 1. Is he going to be able to get that inside line? We're going to switch away from this battle very quickly after turn 1. There it goes. Emil Koopman's up the inside, so he's now P18. Happy ending? Maybe not. Here we go. Oh, man. Okay, we have to head up to Salvatore Gariento, who is really in a heater of battle. He's got all these cars right around him, and at the very front of our field, we got Bruno Heinrich. He's 5/10 ahead of Philip Hammer, so Philip Hammer is quite far back. He has a lot of work to do if he wants to set himself up for a pass. Ooh, and there we go. There is the next closest battle on track. Here we go. Salvatore is trying to make a pass on Gordon Marshall. The outside line is going to... Oh, I don't know if Gordon left enough room. That is very tight, and that is going to allow Salvatore to continue through. That is a huge advantage of the full body car and not being blown apart from a tiny little bump. I don't know if Gordon Marshall left enough space, but that definitely helped out Salvatore Gariento to get into 10th spot. Gordon Marshall now down to 12th, fighting off Andreas Kirchberger, who is right on his tail, and Bogdan Moldovan, who had a really great race actually at Spa in our feature and is quite far back. I don't think he even qualified. I think he wanted to do a back to front. Unfortunately, we're not a huge fan when those types of drives happen, but sometimes they do happen. Here is the final corner for our leaders of the race for the win of this second race. Bruno Heinrich is coming across, getting that checkered flag. Here we go. Congratulations, Bruno Heinrich, for the win of that second race. And here we go. All these guys coming on through. with 15 minutes in this race, a little bit more separation, maybe a little bit more chaos, and so they're not quite as close together. Here we go. Wow, look at this. Is that Adam Schmidt, if I see that correctly, and a few other cars? Oh, and he's getting pushed along. Gordon Marshall ran out of fuel, and he is getting pushed along by his teammate, Bogdan Moldovan. Look at that. A friend in need is a good friend to indeed. Or is that how you say it? A friend? Yeah, I don't know. Either way, here we go. What's Tyler gonna do? I'm always curious what Tyler does. What's Tyler gonna do? Oh! There goes Vlad Sanchez. Haven't seen too much of Vlad Sanchez in this race. He's been closer to the back one. But, yeah, there you go. Let's pull down. You know what? Now I can finally go through. These results because we have a 2-minute warm-up between races. So that's a huge advantage. So here we go. Actually, I can also change Daniel Valk into the Pro Division because he had such an amazing qualifying, such an amazing race. There you go. There you go. Look at that. That looks just about right. Bruno Heinrich, congratulations for winning that second race. Getting up ahead and getting ahead of the Hammer early really, really paid off. Philip a little bit more patient, and he ended up in second. So that is a 1-point drop for both these drivers. They're tied, mathematically tied in race points. So this last race is going to be super interesting to see how that goes. Jordan Strudwick, wow, what very consistent races for Jordan. Daniel Thomas, Christian Urzeka, Daniel Valk, Thorsten Seifert, very, very strong and consistent races. John Bailiff in here in 8th. Neil Killen, wow, all the way up into 9th. He almost hit the reverse grid. That would have been quite a sight to see. Amateur driver at the very front. You know, love to see it, and you're also scared and terrified when it does happen. And it does happen. Salvatore Garriento, Patrick Rusendahl, Andreas Kirchberger in amateur division. Don't usually see that one, but he's an amateur driver within this field. So you know what? Get good, Andreas. Do it. Yuri Steinmetz, Adam Schmidt in 14th. Mihai Zahari, after all that battling, in 15th. That's not a bad place to be still. Gordon Marshall all the way down to 16th. He was up near Salvatore, and after a little bit of bump, maybe a little bit more positions lost. Actually, that was because he lost all of his fuel. That's what it was. He didn't have enough fuel to cross that finish line. That's what it was. Bogdan able to push him through. Emil Koopman's in 18th. Duncan Moraes 19th. And generally in a huge field that we have right here, the drivers 20 or 25 and below are the ones who had some kind of either mistake or off track or incident of some sort. So yeah. It's just the unfortunate reality of percentages, numbers, and generally just how it goes. The unfortunate reality. But yeah, here we are. We got Eric Bueno, Alexander Redhead, Joshua Germany. Hey, I need that back. Thank you. Alexandru Damian, Vlad Sanchez, Kinfai Law, Andre Karamadaru, Tyler Murgida, Glenn Bronton Turner, Vincent Ravesloot, Alexander Wilford. Oh yeah, we saw him go off. Razvan Pahontu, Sander Dreiser, Dennis Ronsdorf. Oh, Dennis is going to be way back. That's unfortunate for him. And Ross Denholm. I don't even think he's started in this race. But Dennis at the very back, that is going to be a hard race for him, I gotta say. Really, really difficult. He's starting this far back in such a large field. It's going to be really interesting. Let's see. I like this one. I like this view. What do you guys think? See some headlights as the sun starts setting. Looks like everyone is on the field, and here we go. You're gonna hear the engines revving up. Engines are revving up. Here we go. The race is about to start, and off they go. And there it is. John Bailiff is in first. Not the start that he was looking for. He is getting challenged left, right, and center. He is being swallowed whole. There is Bruno Heinrich. He's going to try and go round the outside on Jordan Strider. He's got some overlap, a little bit of, oh no! And there they go off into the grass there. bit of a, oh no, little bit of a not so good start. Let's move off of that. A little bit of cars going off here and there. Most of these drivers able to make it through the chaos, let's be honest, and there is a lot of cars, so you know what, it's bound to happen. Just a little bit of a mistake, not giving enough room, just barely from some, just by mistake, of course, honestly, because there's, let's be honest, there's cars left and right. There's Thorsten Cypher, a little bit wild on the exit of the hairpin, and that's allowed Christian Ruzicka to get up ahead of him. With so many cars, it is just absolutely not an easy race to have, let's be honest. So Christian Ruzicka is up ahead. There's Thorsten Cypher. He's being challenged by Daniel Valk. Thorsten Cypher, who's going to have the inside, who's going to have the outside into tower. So that is Daniel Valk. It looks like Thorsten Cypher conceded the position conveniently to try and maybe get it back later, but you know what, a little bit of a slow exit for Daniel Valk. Is there a slowdown or something? And that has actually put Thorsten Cypher down another spot. Daniel Thomas taking advantage, absolutely taking advantage of a slower car of Thorsten Cypher for whichever reason, I don't even know. And there is Philip Hammer. He's all the way up in the 5th position already. So Philip Hammer started in 7th. Bruno Heinrich, he is, I don't know where Bruno Heinrich is. He's way back after that. A little bit of an incident, or a big incident after all that. But Philip Hammer in 5th position, so he's won that first race. There's John Bailiff going super wide. Ooh, and there's 2 positions lost for John Bailiff right there. So John started on pole of this race. And you know, that's exactly what I was talking about. You know, starting on pole, and the pressure can sometimes get to you. Oh, and there is Yuri Steinmetz. He's going up the inside in turn 1 on Salvatore Garriento. Getting one of those positions. There we go. Is Joshua Germany, if I'm not mistaken, is car 20. No, that's John Bailiff. My bad, that is John Bailiff. Oh, Salvatore up the inside on Yuri Steinmetz. He does not want to give up that position easy. But Yuri Steinmetz, he's going to be on the inside into the hairpin. He is being slowed down just a little bit. What is happening? Oh no! What is I have no idea. I am confused about that one, but that is intense. A very unfortunate situation, I gotta say. I'll be honest, for Yuri Steinmetz. He's having such an amazing race, and just a little bit of a miscommunication between drivers and misunderstanding of generally how should this situation go. And yeah, my heart goes out to Yuri on that one, I gotta say. I want to take a quick look here at Neil Killen, who is, wow, look at that. He is up a lot of positions here. He's into 6th position, and he is the effective leader of this, what is this, a 10-car train? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-car train. Neil Killen is the leader of this 10-car train. Look at them come through this corner. Look at that, look at that. There you go. And that is the pressure that Neil Killen has on his shoulders, on his back. He is Atlas as he's heading on to Atlas, coming onto the Allman Straight, heading towards the Sunset Bend. And if he's not careful, one little mistake, he's going to lose a lot of positions as they head through Sunset Corner. Now, is he taking that wide to get a good exit? Let's find out. Ooh, this is intense. A little bit further up ahead, there's Philip Hammer going up the inside into turn 1 on Thorsten Cypher. I think Thorsten Cypher, he's making that easy, giving that inside lane, and he's probably going to try and follow along in the draft to Philip Hammer and take advantage of that nice draft that he's probably going to be getting. Neil Killen having a strong showing. Oh, a little bit of a mistake in that pressure. It's possibly getting to him, and Patrick Roosendahl is right there to take advantage of that. John Bailiff as well. And one little bit of a mistake from any of these drivers can be absolutely race-changing. There is John Bailiff. He's going to have to go around the outside on Patrick Roosendahl, around the hairpin, and I can tell you that is an unlikely pass. The outside car can somewhat get the better exit, but it's a lot of trust you gotta show. There's Neil Killen. He is just loving it. He's watching these headlights go dancing around in his mirror, and he is enjoying every bloody moment of it, I gotta say. There is the inside line. It's gonna turn to an outside line. Oh, a little bit of a contact, and oh, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Such good racing, and it just did not work out, unfortunately for them. And there, there is Neil Killen. He is now just, you know what? He is loving it. Because look at that gap that's now been created for him. He has a lot of space on his hands, a lot of time on his hands. There's Emil Koopmans. He's all the way up in 10th position in this third race, and that is what I was saying way back is, you know what, even if you make a mistake in one race, second 2 races, whatever, you have a third. There's 3 races total, and we're all about having fun here. Why have the race end in one quick thing? You gotta have 3 chances. That's where the most fun is at. 3 chances to screw it all up. If you screw it up 3 times, yeah, anyways. No, but really, three race chances is absolutely the most success to having fun. And it's also the highest amount of learning opportunity as well. So that part is also sort of cool. There's Salvatore going up the inside of a damaged car of Joshua Germany. And is he able to make it stick? Who is that? That is Mihai Zarya. Is he gonna have Salvatore go up the inside of his rear quarter? And no, so Salvatore, and Salvatore really challenging cars on that braking zone right there. It's a very slight braking zone, very brave. Salvatore boxing out Joshua, very smart. But now that box out is going back the other way with Joshua up the inside, and so that's funny how that can work, you know. It's a little bit of a chess match out there. Salvatore getting boxing out Joshua boxing him out using Mihai as that pawn. Mihai just the unwilling pawn. Is this gonna be 3 wide? No, it is not. Joshua up the inside. Here we go. These guys are still 2 wide. This is insane. Mihai Zaharia, is he able to get the power down, get ahead, get away? Because look at all the cars in his rear view mirror that are starting to get right up to these guys who are battling it out for all of their might. There's Sander Dreiser. He's now caught up. Eric Bueno has caught up. Vincent Ravesloot. This is absolutely insane. So it makes you always wonder, do you send it? Do you keep sending it, keep battling, and take that risk for 1 position, maybe 2 positions gain? Or do you concede that position so that all the guys behind you don't catch up and make this worse of a fight than it needs to be? 1 position trying to gain it can have you lose 3, 4, 5, or 10. It's always a fascinating. It's almost like a psychology thing that I love it personally. I love looking at that, thinking about that. How do you manage that? Do you go for that pass or not? And there you go. In these short races, the answer is almost always go for that pass. Look at Salvatore and Joshua Germany ahead of these guys. There is Mihai Zaharia. He's ahead slightly of Sander. Vincent Ravesloot, Eric Bueno behind. There's Alexander Redhead. And then Alexander Wilford, he's making his charge through the field. He's up to 18th after starting very far back. I'm going to take a look here at Philip Hammer. And the very front cars, Christian Ruzicka, he is holding his own. He is in P1. So here we go. This is through. Which corner? This is turn 10. Here we go. Turn 10. Christian Ruzicka, Daniel Valk, Daniel Thomas. A lot of Daniels, isn't that funny? And Philip Hammer through the corner that's named Tower. And a little bit of a dip off the grass for Daniel Thomas, but it did not seem to slow him down at all. And these guys are just really being sucked into the vacuum. This is quite intense. As the sun goes down, the headlights are turned on, and this is absolutely a really great race. You can see the brakes glowing behind those rear tires. Thorsten Seifert's in an excellent position, I gotta say. All 3 races, Thorsten Seifert just been nice and consistent. In P5 this race, that is a nice, comfortable island to be on. And one mistake from the guys ahead of him, and he'll be basically gaining some more positions. There's Neil Killen, he's being challenged by Bogdan Moldovan. There's Bogdan Moldovan going up the inside of Neil Killen. So Neil Killen is in a nice, comfortable spot as well. Here's going round Sunset Bend. That is Patrick Roosendahl, Adam Schmidt, Emil Koopmans. He's up so many spots. That is some good, fine driving by the Dutchman here. The Flying Dutchman. So Joshua Germany, he's still got Salvatore Gariento on his tail, and they're battling that out. There's Sander, he's still trying to make his way through Mihai Zaharia somehow, but look at that, there's Vincent Ravenswood. He is looking to take advantage of these guys who might make a mistake, might not. He's trying to find his way through. There's Mihai, just a little bit of a mistake on putting the power down, and that's got Sander broken his way through. And Vincent now looking to get his way through. All these drivers here, amateur drivers, amateur driver field. So every position here really, really matters. Oh. So, oh, look at this. Here we go. Here we go. Philip Hammer, he is going side by side with Daniel Thomas. Through corners 14, 15, all the way to the back straight. Let's see how this goes. Oh, through the corners, they're still too wide. You can see that Daniel Thomas is not giving up easy, and there he goes. And there we go. Daniel Thomas has now lost that position to Philip Hammer, so Philip Hammer is now up into 2nd position. Christian Ruzecka with a 2.5 second gap. So that is going to definitely play into... Oh, and Daniel Thomas, he is not done. He is not over with. He wants that spot back. He is challenging Philip Hammer through that final corner as they head across this start-finish line. Daniel Thomas going to have the outside line. And that is, we have not seen the outside line work very well. Is he going to be able to make it happen? He gets that power down. These guys are still too wide. Look at them go. Holy smokes. Daniel Valk and Thorsten Seifert directly behind, waiting to pick up the scraps from anything that happens on these battles that are happening right in front of the very eyes. Look at that. Thorsten Seifert able to catch up to this pack after all that battling. He is now within that draft range to start making some moves. He is P5, but he is now in position. He could be all the way up into P2, P3, P4, any of those spots. So Thorsten Seifert having a nice, strong, consistent race after race after race. It's definitely a huge challenge in the 3-race format, I gotta say. It is not easy. Not easy. We have 6.5 minutes to go. This is a 20-minute race. Unbelievable racing happening all over the field. And again, as always, I do apologize if I don't see it in every single battle out there. It's just that I'm one person. I'm one person. I'm trying to do it all here. I try my best, I do. I'm just trying to look through some of the drivers here in the field. So Dennis Ronsdorf, P19, after starting at the very back, I think it's 34th spot. So he's having a good race. Oh! There's Mihai Zaharia. He went off, and that is losing him a lot of positions. One tiny mistake. Let's see. A little bit of a battle happening in the very back of the field. I think Tyler Murgila has some damage on the front of his car. So this, with Tyler, this may not be a long-lasting battle with that front end aero damage. But you can see Gordon Marshall trying to go around the outside of Alexander Damian. It is not happening all that easily, but they luckily have a very long straight coming up. And up the inside of the very first car for Gordon Marshall, Tyler Murgila, he's throwing the defensive line. Is Gordon going to go even further inside? And there we go. We're going to have a 3 wide through Sunset Bend. A little bit of a tap, Gordon Marshall able to stick it, and he is ahead both those cars. There's a 2-for-1 pass, and there he goes. A little bit of a fishtail on the exit. Hopefully his rear tires last at that rate. Holy smokes, right? I want to take a look, actually, where is Adam Schmidt, Emil Koopmans? These guys are fighting it out. This is a pack led by Neil Killen, so Neil had a very nice, comfortable gap, and that is now absolutely closed down. He's got 3 cars on his tail. He's got Patrick Roosendahl, Adam Schmidt, and Emil Koopmans, and they are closing fast. They are really getting up there. Ooh. Here we go into Tower. This is Neil Killen leading this charge still through Tower. This is turn 13. That is not the exit Neil was hoping for, so that is going to bring Patrick even closer. And I'm actually just really curious. I'm going to bring this up really fast. What is everyone's best lap time? I know it takes up a little bit more real estate on that screen there, but I really want to see what is everyone's lap time. Fastest lap time. This is everyone's fastest, best lap time in this third race. So you can take a look at everyone's general pace, general-ish. There's a little bit of a draft effect, obviously, but really hard to take advantage of it sometimes. There is car number 9. He's got Adam Schmidt trying to go around the outside of Patrick's car. Oh, a little bit of a spin, and Emil Koopmans had bumped him, and I think Emil Koopmans may be out of this race, unfortunately, after that bump, and that has absolutely sent him packing, unfortunately. So the Flying Dutchman is into the tracks and out of this race. He was having such a great recovery drive, and it's just now all, unfortunately, out the window. I think he went over the incident limit, hit 15 for a drive-through, if I'm not mistaken. So if you've all taken a look, maybe you can pause back this. Oh, and there's Neil Killen. He has spun, and all of that hard work, it's now out the window as well. He's gonna have to wait a long time to try and rejoin this race. And that is unfortunate for Neil Killen in his race. Oh, and there's just 2 laps to like finish this race. Two laps to go, and he would have had some serious points for amateur division, and it's just all gone. That is an absolute heartbreaker. And I was just saying, let's turn off that fastest lap statistic and go back up to Patrick Rosendahl. So he is now a little bit on an island. So let's take a look here at Thorsten Seifert and Daniel Valk. With this 20-minute race, the field has spread even more. We've found somewhat around the 20-minute mark that the field does quite spread out. That, I don't know if the grass is where you want to be. Oh, a little bit of a brave move up the inside for Salvatore. That is really brave. Everyone really pushing it. And Vincent, this is intense racing. Everyone's wanting that position so badly. I'm not sure what's happening here. A little bit of damage from the rear end of Adam Schmidt. So that is going to hurt his chances long term. So round turn 1, turn 2, and turn 3, Philip Hammer around the outside of Christian Ruzicka. He is not giving it up easy. He is given only inches of room. Philip Hammer, he's going to have to prove that he wants it harder than him. And there he goes, exiting towards the hairpin. Is he going to have to throw that defensive line against Christian? I don't know. It looks tight. Christian thinks better of it, backs out, and is just going to follow along. There's Daniel Thomas, and that is one of those moments that if you battle it out, it really does bring Daniel Thomas into play. And I think that may have been what he was thinking and had him back out. Now Thorsten Seifert, 2/10 behind Daniel Valk. He's going to go for a move into turn 10. No. Absolutely not. It looks like he's going to wait out. This is, of course, folks, the very last lap of the race. So there's going to be a lot of battles going on. Here is Sander and Adam Schmidt. These guys are the leaders of this very decently large Porsche Cup train. As you can see, these guys are battling out for everything that they've got, all the marbles. Oh, Neil Killen, it looks like he's mixing it up with Andreas Kirchberger. The Kirchberglermeister. Whoo. I think he got ahead of Neil Killen there. The rear tires of Neil Killen probably not doing so hot. Philip Hammer is now in the lead of this race as we saw him make that pass on the very last lap down the Almond Straight, coming across the start finish line. Is he going to stay in the lead? Is he going to be able to hold that all the way through? And here we go. There's Philip Hammer. Congratulations for that win of this last race. Wow, what a race from Philip Hammer. And Christian Rizika coming in second place. That is an excellent drive. There is Joshua Jeremy, Sander Dreiser, Adam Schmidt, Vincent Ravesloot, Eric Bueno, Salvatore Gariento. I think I'm saying that one right. Alexander Redhead, look at that, coming across in 14th position, having a great drive. There's Mihai Zaharia, Dennis Ronsdorf, wow, all the way up in the 16th, with Alexander Wilfert, the two, I think they're both German. Both those names sound German enough to me. And Dennis Ronsdorf having a great recovery drive in that last race. There's Neil Killen. He's not enjoying that he spun on that very last few laps. Gordon Marshall, Razvan Pahantu, and some celebration donuts and post-race shenanigans. I always love to see what these guys do. Oh, here comes Tyler. What's he gonna do? Who's he gonna hit? Ooh! I mean, let's be honest, some of the guys here do have a direct drive wheel, so you do have to be careful about who you hit. And even if you do have a direct drive wheel, you either get out of the way, get out of your car quick, or keep driving past turn one. But yeah, it does happen. Oh, there's still some guys out on the track. Look at that. Our guys do, of course, do the post-race celebrations sometimes, mostly. So just be aware of that if you are in the race. It's no harm meant to you. So, are these guys still battling it out for a position? I think they are. And there it is. So let's pull down. There we go. Let's pull that down. Empty. Bring this up. There we go. There is our final race results, and I'm gonna bring it right to the very top. Wrong way. Bring it right to the very top. Congratulations once again for Philip Hammer. He was first in the first race, second in the second race, and first in the third race. So that is going to be almost the absolute maximum amount of points. That is an incredible drive. I said that the chances of winning all three races is very low. It's designed to not have that. And Philip Hammer just said, hey, hold my beer. I'm going to try this. And wow, absolutely wow. Christian Rizika, Daniel Thomas, Daniel Val, all of those drivers really having great, consistent races, staying at the very front for all of them, not many or any mistakes. So they're all taking home some really, really good race points for this race. Then you got Bogdan Moldovan, Patrick Rusendahl, amateur driver at the very, very front. He had a really great run. Joshua Jeremy, Sander Dreiser, recovery drive for Sander there. Adam Schmidt, Vincent Ravesloot, Eric Bueno, Salvatore Gariento, Alexander Redhead, Mihai Zaharia. Mihai, I think, was involved in probably the most side-by-side of everyone in this field. That's what it seemed like to me from the broadcaster commentator booth. He was just in battles left, right, center, all race long. Man, I'd hate to see his racing seat after all these races. Oh my. Dennis Rondorf, great recovery drive to still snag a decent amount of points here. Ending up in 16th, Alexander Wilfer in 17th, Andreas Kirchberger in 18th, an amateur driver there. Neil Killen, after his spin, ended in 19th, so he's still got some race points. There's Neil Killen, Gordon Marshall in 20, Razvan Ahantu in 21, Alexandru Damian, Vlad Sanchez, Tyler Marigula, Kinfei Law, and P25 is the last position in our field, in our grid, to receive points in a race. You'll be able to see this on the Pro-Am standing spreadsheet if you take a look at each individual race week tab. If you're curious how the points are added up or gained or won or whichever way you like to look at it. And then you'll have Duncan Marai just barely one position out of points. Glenn Bronton Turner, Andre Karamadaru, Ross Denholm, Emil Kumans, just 30th, John Bailiff 31, Jerry Steinmetz after that unfortunate moment we saw 32nd, Bruno Heinrich, also an unfortunate moment, turn 1, turn 2 with Jordan Stredwick. Both of them, it looks like, out of the race from the very beginning. Being first lap, it will be reviewed. And actually, I'll just tell you, is 2 penalty points for Jordan Stredwick for minor fault in that. Anyways, for better or for worse, that's how that one ended up. But here you are. There is the race winner. Congratulations to Philip Hammer once again. Holy smokes, like, wow. So who is going to challenge him? I gotta say, the only people that are going to likely challenge Philip Hammer for P1 of the season, the championship of the season, is Bruno Heinrich and maybe Igor Koz. Those are the two drivers that I can see who can really maybe throw their own hammer down. So I'm really curious to see how the following weeks go and if they're able to put the races together to make it happen. So I can't wait for that to happen. This is the end of week 2 broadcast. And with that, I now say have a good evening, folks, and I'll see you all on another day when we get to do the endurance race of Road America. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Control, will you help me?
When I lost control, we had lost. Yeah, we lost control. Yeah, we lost control.
Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me? Love about a liquor boy, will you hit me up? I lost control. Will you help me?